So I know y'all wondering, where are the funny videos? Where are the reviews? Where's the Yes God Action News? But yes, God, I'm dealing with life. My brother got released from the hospital, and child, things got worse. Nessa girl, I am exhausted, y'all, and let me apologize for not coming at y'all with the funny videos and stuff, but this is just taking precedent in my life, dealing with my brother. So last we left off, he got picked up at the hospital or whatever. I didn't have to use the actual Baker Act order that I have because he was already picked up on the side of the street for being dehydrated and disoriented. Unfortunately, he was released and not necessarily treated under mental health. The caseworker from the hospital called me and said that he's being released, he's been medically cleared to be released, and he was treated for what he was brought in for, which was being disoriented on the side of the street, so on and so forth. So if we were to get him some mental health treatment, he would have to be brought in for mental health issues. So that kind of put us back at square one. They released him with the discharge package, and in there, instructions to follow up with the primary care physician, follow up with a psychiatrist, and they did give him a prescription for multivitamin and geodone. I looked up geodone, and it's a schizophrenic medication. However, if you remember my issue, following up with the primary care physician and following up with the psychiatrist is all fine and well, but my brother won't voluntarily, won't voluntarily go. That's how I feel deep down inside. So he did one night okay, and then this morning at 5 a.m. I get a text message from my aunt saying, do you still have those Baker Act papers because he's in here acting up? At 5 o'clock in the morning, y'all, I just couldn't deal with it. I text her back, put him out, and I'll deal with this when I wake up. I purposely slept to noon because I was like, today is going to be a long day, and that it was. So I filed yesterday a neglect report with Adult Protective Services or whatever, citing that my brother's neglecting himself, he's sleeping outside, he doesn't take baths, thinking that, okay, that would get me a jump start to getting some documentation and for me getting some legal standing over him. The caseworker or the investigator from DCF came out, and it's funny because her response was to call the police and have him Baker acted. And I'm explaining to her, this whole Baker Act scenario really is not getting us anywhere. And I said, let me ask you a question. What would you have done had I called you for a child neglect case? Wouldn't you have taken this child and taken them somewhere? Or what if it was elder abuse? What would you have done? Well, why won't you do that in this instance? Look at this person. He's not eating. He's not drinking. He smells bad. He's non-respondent. He's dazed and confused. And she just wanted to go to Baker Act route. So I entertained her. She called the police, Miami Gardens police, non-emergency number. She waited with us for 3 hours. The police never showed up. So she ended up leaving, and she was like, listen, y'all got a Baker Act order. I encourage you to call the police, let them know you have an order. Baker Act them again. In the back of my mind, I'm like, this Baker Act mess does nothing. So she also gave me the number to a place called Banyan Health that has a mobile crisis unit. Called them at 2:20. They came out today at 6:30 with a social worker and another aide and sat down and talked with my brother. Now, I will say this is the first time in a long time that my brother was actually receptive to talking with someone, and I don't know if it's because he's got residual medication in him from being in the hospital, but much of the same runaround. This particular social worker handed me a stack of papers, go to this department, call this number, go to this department. You want to go to the department, I already went and get an ex parte order on my brother. And I'm like, okay, I understand I need to get an ex parte order. But listen, I'm literally walking in court with no kind of documentation because I have no access to anything, and saying, listen, this person is in trouble. Are they just going to arbitrarily give me an ex parte order? Can you sit down, talk with him, do an evaluation, give me some sort of paperwork? Now, I let him look through the discharge packet from my brother from the hospital. And he did give me some advice. He was like, well, it looks like your brother did have Medicaid at one point and is just now inactive. So that's good. He doesn't have to go through the whole process again. We just need to activate it. Okay, that's a small win. Then he was like, you know, Jackson Hospital is a state-run hospital. You can just take them down and they'll fill the prescription. That's a win. He was talking to my brother. My brother, in the moment, seemed receptive. So as of now, the plan is for me to go back to my aunt's house tomorrow, pick my brother up, go to the Medicaid office, go to the Social Security office, go to Jackson Memorial Hospital, and get him a Medicaid card, which this is just going to be another all-day affair. Y'all understand why I'm not making videos. I got to take him to the Social Security office first to get a printout that he has no wages, because he needs that proof of income for me to then take him to Jackson so he can get a Jackson card, and then hopefully we have enough time for me to do the Medicaid stuff as well, or maybe the Medicaid and the Social Security is all done in the same office. Actually, it's not. Medicaid is done at the DCF office. So I got to go to 3 offices tomorrow. So if y'all understanding why I'm not making any videos, this is why. Then on top of that, after we get the Medicaid in place, then I've got to start the disability process and trying to get him disability so he can get a check, so he can get housing. And it's just a big mess. I just left my aunt's house with my aunt in tears, because my cousin who lives with my aunt, who's a man, he works overnight sometimes. And because of my brother's last episode, my aunt was like, he can't stay here. Like, I don't feel comfortable with him being here, and I'm alone at night, and rightfully so. And, you know, unfortunately, my position on the situation is he can't come here either. Right now, I am the mental arm and the financial arm of my family. So I have got to be as whole and sane mentally and financially in order to be able to continue to fight these battles, which means when I need to recharge at night, I need to be able to recharge, and he can't be in here falling out. My aunt said yesterday she woke up because he got up at 2:30 in the morning, went outside and smoked a cigarette. And you know how older people are about leaving their house and having their doors open, and my aunt already has bad anxiety, so she got up and told him, listen, if you're gonna leave out, you're gonna have to stay out. He said fine, he'll stay out. Then she said at 5 o'clock in the morning, he was knocking on her window, acting like somebody shot him. Then when she opened the door, he fell out in the hallway, acting like he was bleeding and like he was shot, or whatever the case may be. And she was just like, I just can't deal with this shit. And I get it. It's frustrating. So when I left my aunt's house, we left with him sitting outside on the back of a car. I really don't know what's going to happen tonight. You know, I'm trying to possibly get him into a shelter, or possibly get him into an extended stay hotel situation, which I have to pay for if he's willing to go. This whole process would be so much easier if I did not have to circumvent my brother, and if he would cooperate with us. Now, when the social worker came today from Banyan Health and did the mobile evaluation, he was very talkative with the social worker. The social worker explained that we're trying to do things for his benefit, and he seemed receptive. The social worker asked him, would he take a shower right now? He said yes, went and took a shower, or whatever the case may be. The social worker asked him, would he eat right now? He said yes, we fed him and he drank. I asked him in front of the social worker, I said, listen, if I come get you tomorrow and take you to get the disability and start that, would you go? And he said yes. When the social worker mentioned to him about prescription drugs that would help him sleep, he perked up and was like, can I get that now? Can I get that now? Or I want a prescription. So I was looking at some of the language that the social worker was using, and I think if I talk to him in terms of, I can get you these prescriptions and I can get you this check, he seemed to be excited about that I may be able to convince him to go along with what I need him to go along with long enough. Lo and behold, I'm thinking real talk that quiet as is kept, while he seems to be coaxable, that I just need to get him to sign a power of attorney form really quickly. Quiet as it's kept, he won't know what, well, maybe I shouldn't say he won't know what he's signing, but right now he's in a state of mind where if I hand him a piece of paper and tell him to sign it, he will sign it. That would help me circumvent the courts and all this type of stuff. But I am going to wake up tomorrow with the hurricane damn coming. I need to be doing hurricane preparation and try to knock out some of these administrative things. Even that doesn't really, stop eating that. Even that doesn't really help us right away, because it's going to take a while to get benefits. It's going to take a while to get him placed in a long-term care facility, so on and so forth. It's a process, and I'm exhausted, y'all, but I'm going to see it through to the end. So that's the update on where we're at with it. Y'all continue to pray. Let's continue to keep the resources and the ideas and the thoughts coming, and I'll keep y'all posted. In the meantime, in between time, now I bitch need a drink. I'll call you later. Bye.